Hello, I'm the Gravedigger, and today's story is one of my favorites. Now this lady is one formidable woman, Matilda Boulton. She was born on January the 26th, 1857, and lived a long and boisterous 94 years. She believed in making her mark, as do her descendants. She was known as the Witch of Niagara, and for good reason. Matilda lived above a store on Queen Street, but she owned property throughout the town. She was smart as a whip, and so when she had something to say, she wanted her voice to be heard. And whether that was by the mayor, the town council, or the town staff. If she wanted their attention, well, the hundreds of letters she wrote spoke for themselves. Because she believed in rights. She believed in right over wrong. But it had to be on her terms. And if you crossed her, well, meet Matilda.
You know as well as I do that the town was always trying to take stuff without anyone paying attention. Just like when they took my sand. They had no business taking my sand, no business touching it at all, because it was mine. Yeah, and don't you argue with me, because I could hex you in the flash of a bat's eye. No, this town didn't understand that private property is private property. If you take something from Matilda Boulton, she will move mountains to get it back. Now, you might be thinking, what's a bit of sand? Well, it meant a lot to the Niagara Dock Company. They wanted to dredge out all that sand down there in the river so they could continue to operate their business. But that just happens to be my land down there. 10 feet of it, under the water, is my land, my property, and I did not give permission. So as far as I was concerned, they were stealing. So I took my case to the local courts, to the provincial courts, and to the federal courts. But they all turned their back on me. You'd think I would have given it up, wouldn't you? Well, there you would be wrong. Because I'm just as stubborn as the rest of my family. Oh, and that town clerk, that Mr. Burns and that Mr. Reed, those buggers, they've been in their positions far too long. Yeah, and they thought they'd got rid of me. Well, hallelujah, I'm better than them, smarter than them old grey suits. I took my case to the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom. And guess what? By golly, I won. Oh, yes, sirree, I won. Got me a cheque in the mail, I did. And you know what I did with it? I tore it up into 1,000,000 little pieces. Because that's what I thought of them. Because you know what? It's the principle that counts. The principle. That's my philosophy, and that's how I live. Now, yes, and by the way, if I see that girl, that young whippersnipper Muriel Fellows, prancing around the town in those short shorts again, she'll get more than just a slap on the legs with this stick, I can tell you. Oh yeah, and there's another one, that Margot Davy. If I can see her poking her nose around my place one more time, I'll empty my chamber pot over her. Oh yeah, I've done it before, and I'll do it again. And don't start telling me what I should and shouldn't do. There's enough little buggers in this town that had it coming to them. You know, that's what happens when you make fun of people. Just because someone might be a little different, I can put a hex on people. I can, and I will. Now, if this town only knew just how much of it I owed, they wouldn't have treated me this way, I can tell you. But if a battle is worth fighting for, my motto is, don't give up. After all said and done, sometimes your best weapons are your voice, your determination, and your pen. So there.